Welcome, everyone. Today, in our next episode of Success Way, I'm joined here today with someone who is nominated in the prestigious top 100 customer success strategist list, recently published. Please welcome Ifeanyi Nwoke from Nigeria. And he is a very dynamic leader in the field of customer success. But anyway, let me just give him a chance to introduce himself.
All right. Thank you, Shankar, for that brief introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to connect with you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I find if you can just talk a little bit about your, journey, professional journey, how you started your career in customer success and how it's been going and what are some of the, things that helped shape your view of how customer success is and should be.
Great. Thanks for that. So I started on my career as a customer support specialist. There, I was more or less like, responding to support, generally the support activities, like, responding to queries, responding to that sort. That kind of sounded like, at that time, sounded more like, deep tasks, something I would always do every day. But then, talking to different But then I asked myself, what else can I do beyond support, right? I started doing some research online to see, what's out there beyond customer success, customer support, and what are the other things I can do to better, keep the tab of my customers and try to see how I can solve their problems before. I started seeing seeing topics around Google Analytics. I stumbled around customer success, and that kind of raised my curiosity as to what is customer success? What's the difference between customer success and support? I started doing my research. Reading articles. Reading blogs. About customer success ideology. And then, I stumbled at the CS certification course with Success Hacker. That's the success coaching. And I decided to take, advance my knowledge in the area of customer success. And I saw more or less like, a proactive approach to engaging customers, to holding them, to making sure that they get value. And that kind of, make me really excited to I got a job as a customer success specialist, one of the renewable energy companies in Nigeria. And, that from there, I think that was where my journey into customer success started. And here, one of the, startup companies here, building a world-class customer success team and making sure that, our customers are happy with our product.
Okay, no, excellent. Thank you. So, obviously, as a leader, you have hired a lot of people. And I'm sure you have seen, CSMs join in and probably need help. So let's talk about, what are the kinds of things that CSMs tend to do earlier on in their career and that they should be aware of, and maybe do some of those things more, and maybe some of those things are not good and they should probably not do as much or replace them with some other things. So like how would you generalize how how a typical new CSM is when they walk into the role?
Great. So I think from my experience, it's a bit subjective, but then I'll speak from my experience. A lot of customer, because customer success is pretty much new, in this part of the world, people still tend to lean towards the customer support, way of doing things, the reactive approach to doing things. And then, in support, you can easily copy support metrics, processes, and then try to replicate them to engage or to manage customers. But then when it comes to customer success, it's totally a different ballgame. So I see people, I see this company, customer success, practices in the approach, and I think I should just go and copy it. Oh, they call their team customer success, whereas they're doing support. let us buy into the idea. Let's rebrand customer success, whereas you are doing support. And then coming into the work itself, right? Not even defining what success mean to your customers. You just onboard customers and then start providing service support, managing them. They have issues. If you think about it, it's just pretty much support approach. But how do you better, engage your customers? What success means to them? You build a very beautiful, fantastic product that solves customers' needs, perhaps. And different customers come to you. Oh, I would like to solve this problem. I'd like to solve this problem. But you need to start by defining what success means to them, to be able to build your strategy to great experience for those segments of customers. So I see a lot of CSM just go about copying strategies and copying workflows and just incorporating it, and they tend to fail. They have to come back to the drawing board to get it right. And then when you fail to define success by your buyer persona or your segment of segmenting your customer, because for you to be able to define what success means to your customer, you must have started by segmenting your customers and saying, okay, customer A is this type of customer. This is what they're looking to achieve. This is what the appropriate experience mean to them, and then you build your strategy around that. So two key things I see them doing wrong, failing to define their and also failing to segment their customers based on parameters that revolves around their business, their the solution that they currently provide. So I think these two key things are something that they need to look into and ensure that they get it right. An outcome driven customer success strategy.
Okay, no, that's you made some good points there, I find. I mean, what I have seen, just to add to what you said, is from my experience, I have seen that some of the new CSMs, if they come from, let's say, support backgrounds, they tend to be very reactive, and they will
Yeah.
kind of just sit and wait. And if they come from a more technical background, or they're technical support specialist or something, they tend to not pay attention to the business needs of the customer. And I
Yeah.
think for you know CSMs to succeed, they have to know that it's not just about answering where is the login button, or how to change the color of the font or some such thing. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
You might have to do that as well, but there's a lot more to it. So in
Yeah.
terms of, you mentioned segments and things like that, how do you, like, what would be an easy way for a customer to segment, a new CSM to segment their customers?
So I think you need to start by understanding who your customers are, because you have to have some demographics around your customer base. So I'll give you a typical example. Maybe your product is focused on maybe the edtech space, and then you have those in the K-12, you have higher institutions, and within that space you have different revenue flow or revenue scale coming from those type of customers. You can say, okay, for our customer, I can segment by the how do I put it, by the level of the school, maybe by secondary school, high school, by universities, by polytechnics, by college of education, just some sort of a basic segmentation. Then if you want to go deeper, you can also segment by revenue, segment by number of users, by institutions. There are a lot, depending on the business environment, there are a lot of ways that you can segment, but at least, mapping out, customers who have typical or similar profile in one box, and then having the others in another box. That way you're able to, based on their expectation, based on what success means to those types of customers, you can build your ideology or your CS strategy around what success or what the appropriate experience would mean to them.
Yeah, no, good, great point, great points. So I find in terms of things that a new CSM can do to quickly ramp up? Do you suggest a certain onboarding uh, plan that they should take on when they're moving into a CSM role, like attending, some online classes or some YouTube channels that they should follow, or like, are there types of things that someone who's wanting to move into a CSM role can do to prepare for the interview, for the hiring, for succeeding as a CSM? Are there any things that you can share with us?
Great. So one of the most good things about diving into customer success is the fact that the customer success community itself is very rich. You have both human resource, you have articles, you have YouTube videos. You have a lot of resources that you can leverage to improve your knowledge of the field. But I'd like to start by recommending folks in CS, like on LinkedIn, who talk about customer success all the time, talk about how new CSMs can get things right. And then I would also recommend that they take maybe a level one certification with success coaching, just to get around their head around what it takes to start off one's career as a customer success manager. What are the basics, right? Where do I start from? How do I build my strategy? How do I define the objectives of the team? How do I even decide on what the matrix to track? All of those basic things that a new CSM should know. They should find a way to get materials online, via LinkedIn, via YouTube. There are a lot of resources out there that they can put together to get updated as to what they need to know before they get into the position as a CSM.
Okay, no, no, I totally agree with you in the success coaching level one, level two, level three,
Yeah.
because that's something that I've found extremely useful, especially
Yeah.
for new CSMs who are just kind of starting off, and as you said, it's a very rich forum. There are lots of good stuff that you can just get of LinkedIn itself, and even YouTube, like stuff like that. But some of those things definitely are great. I mean, in terms of some story that you can share where a new CSM did exceptionally well, and how did they do it? I mean, if there's any story that you can share from the last year or two or three, where you felt that some CSM really excelled, and what, in your opinion, made him or her excel, even if they were new to this role.
Yeah, great. So I like to talk about my experience at FlexiServe. At FlexiServe, I lead a team of 25, and prior to joining the team, it was more or less like it was more or less like the support approach to engaging customers. So coming on board, the focus was to drive CS culture, customer success culture across the organization, and also ensure that the team is equipped with the skills, the knowledge to be able to engage customers, maintain that relationship, grow the business, and increase revenue. There's this. I had one team member who was, he loved everything about customer success. He was very passionate about it. You could see it on the conversations when we do my one-on-one sessions with him. He will talk about how he can do things differently, how he can engage customers, how he can manage his account, his book of business, how he can even upsell and cross-sell. So, but I always engage him in terms of these are the priorities, these are the way you can organize your work, these are the metrics you need to focus on, this is how you can keep tab of the health of your customers, this is how you can develop a predictive health mechanism to check your customers, make sure you can identify the leading and lagging indicators. Just give him a whole lot of resources and ideas and tips on how he can do better. So luckily for him, one of the things he did, excellently very well was to sort of spot problems before they occur, and then find a way to conduct informal quarterly business review with his customers. Oh, this way they define success when you came on board. This is where we are, and this is where I'm taking you to, right? So the customers have an overview of where they are and where they're going to. They feel more confident. As a CS person, you should be an advisor to your customers. Make them, feel trusted that, oh, I have someone who is actually walking me through what I need, all I need to know to succeed. And having just like the quarterly business reviews normally conducting with his customers, he's able to know how he needs to take it from point A to B and from B to C and C to D, and taking them to all through the journey. And that way he's been able to manage his account and retain as much as 98% of his customers. And I think at the end of the quarter he won one of the most exceptional customer success team member on in the department at that time.
No, oh, fascinating. No, I totally echo your statement that CSM need to be an advisor to
Yeah.
their customers, and they are not their friends. They are not there to just make them happy. They're
Yeah.
literally their advisor, and sometimes the advice can be something the customer may not want to listen. It may not be something that they really want to hear, but guess what?
Yeah.
As an advisor, you sometimes have to, just like a doctor, but you have to give, you know, advice that customer will make him better or get more value from the product. So that's definitely absolutely great advice itself. So I know we are kind of it's great conversation, and coming towards the end of this conversation that I think everybody will find extremely insightful. Before I let you go, what's your favorite team in the upcoming football World Cup?
Great, very interesting question. Unfortunately, my country, Nigeria, didn't qualify for the World Cup. But then my favorite team, I'll be supporting Ghana because they are a neighboring country. So I'm hoping that they will do Africa proud and show the champion that they are when they get to the World Cup finals.
Ghana is a very exciting team. I
Mm.
watched a couple of big games in the last few years, and they
But,
definitely play electric football, highly energized football.
yeah.
So I find their style of football. I'm not a football expert, but I like their style of play. So again, thank you so much for your time, I find, and hopefully we will have you again at some point and to share some more thoughts with our audience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Shankar, for your time. It's a pleasure.